It is November. Christy's Beautiful Life in her 30 Days of Sketches over. I do have a couple that I didn't do last month that I'll be doing this month. But today is the first day of Thankful Thursday, and that is with Sandie Reverskie. And I will have listed below everyone that is playing along with Thankful Thursday. So what I did was I grabbed a Scrap a Sketch. Scrap a Sketch is a Facebook group by Lisa Sikorsky. She puts out wonderful sketches all the time. I grabbed sketch number 54, and I am going to use, this is Kaiser Craft. It is Bombay Sunset. I have some papers as well as some die cuts. And the other thing to show it to you is what will be the coordinating layout, which I've done before. It's got a kind of a cut file laid over the white paper, and then it's got these two clusters with a photo of myself and my husband. This is an October weekend last year for our anniversary in October. This is our friends. This will be on the opposite page that we went with. Our friends that we went with will be on the opposite page. And I'm looking forward to getting this done. This is the last layout in one of my albums. Now, my albums don't go year to year, or don't end on a year and start on a new year, if that makes sense. Mine just keep going until I get them done. So this is, although it's not the last physical layout in the album this time, it is the last one to be completed. So let's get scrapping. I realized I should have told you what I was thankful for. These are our friends that we do a lot of traveling with, mostly like long weekends. And so it's someone that my husband used to work with her, and we get along really well with this couple. They're really easy to travel with, and we're lucky to have them, that they have similar interests. So I'm super glad to be putting this into my album and telling the story. So I took that busy pattern paper and then ripped the orange piece, and I really liked, in the sketch it's stripes, and then it just that little white pen work up on the top left. I thought that just gave a little extra, and it was pretty darn cool. So I screw up the sizes of the paper. First, I cut the pink paper. There's two different pink papers. I cut the one too short, and you'll see me do that in a little bit. And I actually go back in and cut them the right sizes off camera. But first I get the orange glued down. I could have used a different piece of paper and then just used a little bit of that beautiful pattern paper in the middle and then kept the rest, but it was a time saver, and I have so much paper I don't need to have more of it, although I love it and I think it's pretty. And I do have a little bit of paper left over at the end. So here I am just deciding what papers do I want to use. I'm going to take these have like lovely branding strips on them with like little sayings and stuff, but I figure I can use a little bit of this pink and still have the fun other side. And then for another layer, I'm going to use the back side of that pink, which is green. But here is where I get, oh no, I trimmed just a little bit off. And then I kind of get over excited about trimming things off. Just not looking at the different sizes of the papers on the back. So I make a little, just make a little notch with my scissors, and I like to take them to my trimmer then, so that I get a straight cut across, which I do. It's just too short. So the pink, I think one of those is supposed to be way longer than the other, and I just didn't get that piece right. And you'll see me figure that out in a minute. But I did make just a little notch with my scissors on both of these pieces of paper. And this is where I realized, and I think it's the bright pink on the back. It's way too, oh yeah, because here the green gets stuck in the middle, and there's no room for the green because the pink is so short. Oops, can it work? Will it work? Maybe will it work? Let's see. Not really. So I remove it and I start over with another piece of paper. But that, like I said, I'm going to go off camera to do that and come back with them cut correctly. Down below, I will have Sandie Reverskie, who is Steak Goddess on YouTube, listed, along with everyone else that is playing along with Thankful Thursdays. So here you can see where I recut it. Oh, no, here's where I'm recutting it. And the interesting part is, in the process of doing it the wrong size, I end up laying the pink down on the orange side, which is not what I had intended to do. I'm going to go off camera, cut these, and then I will come back with them pasted all together. So here we are. It is fixed, except for, like I said, that orange is still face up, and I will catch that before I glue that part down. I'm going to grab out my pieces, my embellishments. And I want to get each of the colors into each in cluster. So look at me is the arrow that's pointing towards the picture right now. I put that green clip up there, but that doesn't stay there. Then I have this flag that says happiness isn't a destination, it's a journey, which I thought was perfect. And I pick out a flower for the cluster up on the right upper part. And then I'll also pick out some flowers for the left lower part of the picture. I actually end up having, well, 4 clusters if you count the flags, but I didn't exactly make those a cluster up in the left-hand side of the layout. I will use one of the embellishments that has words on it, and I'll tuck it underneath that flower on the left lower corner of the photo, and you won't even see what that says. In the right upper corner is "This was fun" on the arrow, and then I have some of these fun corner things that I'm going to use. I'll get some flowers over by the journaling box there, and then I think that might be just making sure I got everything I want out of there. And then this is just from some of the pieces I've been cutting. I'm going to make it a fishtail banner. I'm going to use the other flag as my template there, and that way I will have 2 of them up in that left upper corner. One is just a little bit longer than the other. I remove that clip, and then I go into my flare, and I find 2 flare that have that kind of that rose pink color in it, and I found a couple different ones that I'm thinking about that are over by the journaling box right now. I do go and I backed the photo with a kind of a lighter shade of green, and then I'll start getting these clusters down with my ATG adhesive. And you'll notice that I still don't have the photo and the papers glued down. This is where I go, oh my gosh, that was supposed to be on the front, not on the back. So I do take it off, and it is super easy to just flip around and get it correct. So there's a lot of pink going on there right now, but using the orange would have just, I mean, it was the same color as the background, so it would have just faded in. So there we go with that. And then I'll just keep getting those. I use foam adhesive tape to anchor down my flare. And then I do believe I go, oh, not yet. So, yeah, and it's just a matter of getting all the pieces back to where they belong. The arrow there, I kind of questioned, should that go over right over the top of the flare, but it does look good there, so I left it there. And then I have a flower on that left lower corner that layers over the flare. I think it's fun to stick stuff on top of the flare, and then it gives it some dimension. And so there, the flare goes over that orange circle, and the flower goes on top of the flare. I glued the flag down. The other flag actually had adhesive from it being one of the scrap pieces of paper, so that's stuck there. And then I will work on the cluster by the journaling. I went in, and this one, you know, that even though it's on orange, that cluster really didn't have orange, so I did get one of the flare to be orange. And it gets layered with a pink flower, so that works out well. I always have the Scrap-A-Sketch Facebook group listed in my favorites down below, so make sure you check that out. Check out Lisa and Scrap-A-Sketch on Facebook. I mean, I would have not ever had the inspiration to this beautiful layout had I not had that sketch. Once I get everything glued down, I will do some splatters with my white Delusion spray. Um, that's the same that's in the sketch. So stay tuned for pictures of the close-ups, and I hope you have a fabulous day. And this month I'm doing about 3 videos a week, so I will see you again soon.